Good morning, my dear friends. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. My name is Sarita, and I just stepped out of the shower, so my hair is a little wet. I apologize, excuse my manners. I have a great candle for you today because Christmas is here. Christmas is here. Oh my gosh. So I burned this candle all the way down to the wick clips. This is a paraffin, so you're seeing some sooting up top, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I even wiped it down a little bit. It was worse soot. That said, most of the soot occurred within the bottom, I don't know, half centimeter of wax. When the candle gets down pretty far, and this goes for any candle, any wax formula, the heat has nowhere to go, basically, because there's no more wax to melt. So the glass just gets very hot and the flames go crazy at that point. So any candle can get sooty right near the end, but obviously, especially if you have paraffin. I personally have no problem wiping down a paraffin candle every now and then, because for me personally, the trade-offs for paraffin are better. There are more benefits to me personally for paraffin than detractions, but definitely the biggest detraction is that paraffin can get sootier. And this one did, but like I said, really only at the bottom of it. For the most part, it burned really pretty clean. And most of Kringle's paraffins, frankly, burned fairly clean. We're not talking like Bath and Body Works level of soot. And that goes for their 100% soy. Their 100% paraffin. Their soy blend needed a lot more work. And I found that it performed worse than the 100% paraffin did. But the 100% paraffin did well. Christmas is here. I want to say that I bought this medium one maybe like a year and a half, 2 years ago, when they were having a big medium candle, seasonal candle purge, and I went ahead and got this candle. I knew I liked it because on my spreadsheet that I've talked to you about before, on my spreadsheet, when all of the daylights come in, so when I was kind of coming back to Kringle, I tried them a few years ago. And I just didn't like them. I didn't like the fragrances. So when I returned to Kringle, like a year or two ago, I just bought a ton of daylights. And to keep them straight in my mind, I had like a spreadsheet on my phone, and I would categorize them of like best, hoard worthy, and then like good, and then okay, and then like absolutely not. And I've basically updated that spreadsheet a little bit, especially for some of the more obscure candles, or the ones that are either retired, we don't see them, etc., etc. Some of them I can just like keep in my mind. But on my spreadsheet, Christmas is Here was in like my best category, along with Christmas, which is one of their, I think it is their bestseller, just called Christmas. But Christmas is Here, I loved that daylight so much that it was in my best category. So when this came in for a sale, I went ahead and got it. And I can, oh my gosh, heartily affirm the fact that it is hoard worthy for me. And frankly, I don't like it better than Christmas. So, and I don't think that there's any better name for it than Christmas is Here, because when I smell this candle, it smells like Christmas. Christmas itself, to me, this smells like an amazing Christmas tree. And I did not realize that this was a dupe for Time's Fraser Fir. I did not know this. I found this out because Mick Kittrick said it online like a couple weeks ago. Somebody was looking for a dupe for Fraser Fir from Times because it's very expensive. And he was like, it's Christmas. And I don't know why I hadn't put two and two together. Oh my gosh. And then I smelled them and I was like, he's totally right. They are completely dupes for each other. In my mind, for some reason, I had them as separate scents. We'll talk about Fraser Fir and Christmas in a very upcoming video, because I'm gonna do like a Christmas video for Christmas Eve maybe, or Christmas morning, and it'll be like legacy edition. And I will talk about all of the candles that like I absolutely need for Christmas season, and are just inducted into the Hall of Fame. And no matter what new candles come and go, they will always be there. And we're definitely going to talk about Fraser Fir and Christmas. All right, close parentheses. Christmas is here. Unbelievable. And let me tell you something, from the notes on the website and the notes for this candle, like, you would just not think of this as a Christmas candle. It's a really odd scent and scent note list. So the top notes for Christmases here are bright tangerine, petitcran, which is an oil from the bitter orange plant, and citron. So those top notes are like, you would expect like orange central, right? And then mid notes, lavender, cassis root, and eucalyptus. So with the lavender and the eucalyptus, it's going like in a very austere herbal direction. And then cassis root, if it was just cassis, because cassis is like currants, black currants basically. But if this is cassis root, which is making me think that it's gonna be like herbal and like woody, yeah? And then the base notes are cedarwood, balsam fir, and amber. Okay. To be honest, those notes kind of seem like I would hesitate to purchase a candle with those scent notes. We'll just put it that way. I don't know that I need all of that citrus up there. And then it's supposed to be going with lavender and eucalyptus. Like, absolutely, that's weird. That sounds like a mistake waiting to happen. And then on the bottom, you've got cedarwood and balsam fir. But like, how much cedarwood and balsam fir are there going to be? I mean, this candle could just be whack, right? It is not. And this candle is dominated by the balsam fir and the eucalyptus. But the eucalyptus, in fact, I don't know if you would necessarily even pick it out. The eucalyptus is a very soft, like florist eucalyptus here. So with certain combinations of like a dewy balsam with a eucalyptus, it smells like a florist shop and a Christmas tree put together. So especially my father used to always bring home a beautiful like centerpiece, like a floral centerpiece for Christmas Eve that was heavy on like the spruce and the balsam and the cranberries and the holly, and it would usually have a little bit of eucalyptus in it too, because eucalyptus is a very common kind of florist filler, and it rounds out and kind of spices up, if you will, a generic kind of even coniferous green kind of smell. And so for me, I just associate that like soft supporting cast eucalyptus with balsam with like a Christmas like floral display essentially. And by floral, I mean usually not very much floral, but like a florist kind of thing. Or like if you do Advent wreath, or if you do any kind of like greenery wreath for seasonal greenery wreath for your house, for your door, whatever else, or greenery along your mantle. It's that kind of vibe. And you are getting that. That is an enormous amount of this candle. Like, I want to say it's like 80% of this candle is that eucalyptus spruce, which is balsam, whatever it is. It's like just gorgeous. Yeah, it's a balsam fir, and the eucalyptus. Oh, I'm so sorry. I know that was probably super loud on your speaker. If there's cedarwood, it's like real bassy. Like, I don't think that it's not a whole lot of wood. It's a lot more greenery. It's that like seasonal greenery, balsam fir, eucalyptus. It might have some amber in it, but again, very supporting cast, just kind of to round out the fragrance, but it doesn't have like a personal fragrance component or a perfume fragrance. It's just so fresh, so green. And then there is something that is vaguely fruity about the candle, but it's not fruity in that you immediately think of it as a fruit candle. Because like I said, immediately you think of it as like a balsam eucalyptus candle, like it's a fresh Christmas greenery kind of candle. But then there's just something indescribably fruity. And I don't think you would even think it's citrus. And you would think with all of those citrus components there that you would be getting a very strong citrus vibe from it. You don't. In fact, every time I write down these notes or like consult them to remind myself of them, I'm always so shocked by like that list of high, astringent, like citrus notes. And every time I smell it, and I'm like, are you getting the astringent citrus? I am not. I am not. I think there is a citrus component, but it's just blended perfectly and it's soft. And I do think that it feels a little bit more cranberry. So like maybe like a currant with some citrus. Yes? But again, this is taking up like 15% of the candle, like 15, maybe. And it's the star of the show is that greenery. And then there's that like appropriate seasonal fruit brightness about it. Kind of in the same way that like when you have lights in your Christmas tree, it's like lighting up the Christmas tree, but especially if they're like deep in the Christmas tree, it's just illuminating the tree. It's not making it like a light show, or it's not making it like all about the lights, if that makes sense. That's what the fruit is doing to the balsam here. It's like brightening it and lightening it and illuminating it and giving it something like sweet and just almost like, I don't know, like palatable, you know? Without it being like a true gourmand or a true fruit candle. It is just gorgeous. It is gorgeous. Honestly, I can't think of another candle that smells like Christmas to me. I mean, when I smell, and I know we say that a lot about a lot of candles. Oh, it smells like Christmas. This one truly does. And maybe it's just my personal associations. So let me know if you have this candle and you feel the same way about it. But when I smell this, and Kringle has so many great Christmas candles and great Christmas conceptuals. This is the one that I smell and I think to myself, this is Christmas. This is Christmas. And that's why I think it's just so well named. Christmas is here. Like when I smell this, I'm like, you're right, Christmas is here. There's no fragrance that like evokes that more powerfully than this particular candle for me, honestly. It's one that I will treasure and treasure and treasure. Oh, it's not in paraffin anymore. I'm not happy about that. I really like the way paraffin expresses fragrances, and I am skeptical of the way that soy is going to translate it. Right now, unfortunately, it's not really available. The only way that it's available, and the only format that it's available right now on the Kringle website, is in wax melts. Those will be paraffin, but you will have to melt them as opposed to burn them. But they are still available on the website. The Daylight is sold out right now, and they did repour this in 100% soy, a medium format, but it is sold out as well. And the whispers are that the medium jar is going away, which I think is a big mistake. But that's just me personally. And we're going to talk about those kinds of things when we do like a Kringle end of the year kind of review in the next week or so. So right now, the only way that you can get this is through wax melts, but like this has to come back. It has to come back. Like even if it's soy, like it just does, because for me, this is, I think, my favorite Kringle candle for the Christmas season. And I do love the dupe of Fraser Fir. And I personally kind of prefer Fraser Fir, but we'll talk about that. Here's the thing, strength and performance. This was fantastic. Now it was paraffin, so I really, all bets are off with the soy, but I would say that this consistently got up into the 7.5 to 8.5 realm. So it was a powerhouse and it was a house filler. And the only Christmas candle that I've burned here, and I've burned it about halfway down, was this Mercury. This is a Mercury Christmas one. I feel like this one didn't perform as well as I wanted it to. I feel like this one was kind of in the shyer 6 to 7 realm, whereas this one was consistently in the 8 realm. Yeah. So I think this one performed better and it was consistent, and as paraffin is, I mean, same burn every single time. Same fragrance notes, same, and it was just a powerhouse. I mean, it was an 8 and it was that way consistently. This one is 100% soy this Christmas, so I don't know if Christmas performed better when it was in paraffin, but for me, this was a lot shyer, and although it smells incredible on cold, when I burned it, I wasn't getting all of this every single time. And I want to say that, honestly, when I burned it, a lot more of like the musk dimension came out a lot. And I have found with the soys that like there's just, your experience varies from burn to burn. In a way, it's just not consistent in the way that a paraffin is. So as I said, I don't know if I should be attributing the performance difference between Christmas is Here and Christmas to the formulations, the wax formulations, or to the fragrance itself. It's in some ways it's apples and oranges, unfortunately, so I can't give you a good estimation. All I can say is that this medium paraffin Christmas is Here is flawless and it is everything. And if I had to choose between the two of them, I would absolutely choose this one. I cannot be without Christmas is Here. Christmas is Here has been around for a bit for Kringle, and so I'm confident that it's going to stay around for a bit. But like when they kind of reformulated it and they like put it on the website in a weird way, like they took away a lot of the reviews of it. So I have a hard time figuring out, like, number one, how long it's been around, and number two, what the reception of it is. But I just can't imagine that the reception hasn't been really strong and that there aren't a lot of people that want this to stay around. I think it's definitely my personal Christmas favorite from Kringle, and I do think it's one of their strongest Christmas conceptuals, and they have a lot of strong ones. So Christmas is Here. I burned it this season and I will burn it every season if I can. And yes, I will go to eBay. I will go to Mercari. I will get this candle if I want it. Buy it, please. And hey, if you're making an order with Kringle, throw those wax melts in. If you've got a wax melter, throw it in, especially if you've never experienced this candle. Do not be weirded out by the weird scent notes that really do not adequately reflect the way that this candle smells. We've gone on too long. I will see you in the next one. I've got a string of seasonal reviews and videos coming up. So I just love you all. And if you're celebrating the holidays, it is upon us. Let's get in that Christmassy mood. And if you've got this candle, bring it out. I'll see you in the next one.